Hello and welcome back to Wellbeing Wednesday Tip of the Week. In previous episodes, we looked at how the way we think can influence the way we feel. And as a result, it was requested that we dive a little deeper into how we can identify and overcome these unhelpful thinking patterns. Therefore, today, I want us to take a look at something known as cognitive distortions and a little exercise we can do to help us identify and overcome these unhelpful thinking patterns. Cognitive distortions are unhelpful thinking patterns and are extremely common. These develop over time and you might not even be aware of them. They can develop from things like traumatic experiences that alter your way of thinking, or they can even be learnt from parents. The frustrating thing about cognitive distortions is that you can get in the cycle of thinking. For example, you might think that you're unlovable, and therefore you start pushing people away. And then when they leave, you think, see, told you, I'm unlovable. And you get stuck in this endless cycle. There are plenty of types of cognitive distortions, but one you might be familiar with is all or nothing way of thinking. This is where everything might be either black or white. Things are either perfect or they're terrible. There's very little in between. Another common cognitive distortion is overgeneralization. This can be where something negative happens to you and you believe it's an endless cycle of negativity. Common words to look out for are things like always or never. Things are always going wrong or things never go your way. The good thing about cognitive distortions is that they can be changed. It can be hard to change these unhelpful thinking patterns, but over time you can work to release them and you can start to think and feel in ways that allow you to live a happier life. As we all know, in order to change something, we first have to identify it. Therefore, the model I'm going to share with you today is a cognitive behavioural tool. And this is called the ABC model. This model helps us to connect our thoughts to the feelings and events. So imagine a table with 3 columns. In the first one, you have the activating event. This is the event that triggered your thoughts and your feelings. In column B, you have beliefs. This is the thoughts and beliefs that occurred during or after the event. And finally, in the third column, you have the consequences. So as a consequence of the event and the thoughts, what did you feel and what did you do? For example, you are in work and your boss angered you, and before you know it, you're in the toilet having deep breaths and trying to calm yourself down. So let's look at the ABC model for that. The activating event might be that your boss overlooked you for a promotion. The beliefs and thoughts that occurred as a result would be, he always ignores me and overlooks me for promotions. It is useless. What's the point? They don't even care. And then C, as a consequence, you start feeling hopeless, dejected, and you start ignoring your boss all day long. You will see as a result of the activating event, the beliefs came into play and therefore consequences came into play. This can feel very simple, but by mapping out the process using the ABC model, you can start to identify the thoughts and emotions that are triggered and why. Over time with practice, you can then reverse engineer the model. For example, how would things change if you altered the way you thought about an event? How would things change if you changed the way you acted upon those thoughts? Changing your thinking patterns can be difficult, but it can be done. That's it from me today. Please feel free to comment below. Let me know what resonated with you and what you'd like to see next. As always, subscribe on my YouTube channel. Lots of more joyous videos to come, where we look at how we can think, feel and act in a way that allows us to get the most out of this life. See you next week.